living downright cruddy, buddy. Wish I missed the past, buddy, but there's still Buddycast. No, don't be naughty, go meet everybody here on Buddycast.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the founder and host of Buddycast, Nick Sorensen.
Good Monday morning, Buddycast. It's your host, Nick Sorensen, and I'm here with my buddy, Sharla Shults. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful and so proud and happy, and thank you for this opportunity.
Absolutely. Once you know it, we have another poet right here on Buddycast. So, Charlotte, you're a poet, you're a best-selling author, you love nature. We got to start with the beginning. What inspired you to become an author? Take us down your journey.
Okay, it is quite interesting because I'm an educator in mathematics and science. So I never at any point in my life considered myself a writer. And when I was in school, when my language arts teacher would have us interpret or give our opinion of certain poetry or poets, I always drew a blank. I didn't really care for poetry. It just wasn't my niche. But then as I grew older, I began to appreciate more, I think, how the beauty of our world and how nature in itself is poetry in motion. If you just simply step outside and listen to the sounds of nature, if you watch nature as it moves, you will see the dance and the rhythm is actually quite poetic. But the way I started was just with a little simple poem to my husband on his birthday. And after that, I went to bed one night and I had a little angel just whisper in my ear. And I woke up the next morning to a pad of what I would call scribblings. It was just full of all this writing. And I had to stop for a few moments and decipher what it was and determine that this is poetry. And from that point forward, as I went throughout my day, I would see something outside, or I would see a picture, or he and I would be in the car and we'd be riding somewhere and something would catch my eye. And I just grabbed my pencil and I'd start writing. It just came real quickly and I just write. And that's how my first book evolved in 2004.
Wonderful. Tell us about that book.
The book is entitled Echoes, and it is the Echoes, Whispers of Yesterday. And it basically touches on the beauty and the joy and the love that is really given to us through our Heavenly Father. And we just take it for granted. We see it every day and we walk right by it, but we don't observe it. And that's how it all started.
Oh, wonderful. So you mentioned you're an educator. What inspired you to go into education? Take us down that path.
Well, my father was in education. He was in college, was a coach, and then taught school and coached football. And then he became a principal. And once I started to school and developed my love of mathematics, I've always been a numbers person. I love everything is in numbers. And when I was in school, and especially in the algebra and geometry classes, my teacher would call upon me to teach the class. This was as early as the 7th grade. And I found myself very comfortable in front of the classroom and being able to explain the sequence that I went through that all the other kids were having trouble with. And it was kind of funny because they would come to me and they say, "Can you be our teacher today? We don't understand Miss So-and-so, but you make it sound so easy." That's how it started. Yeah.
Wonderful. So you not only have one book out, you have another book out, a book you most recently wrote. Could you tell us about that?
Yes, I'd be glad to. Now, following Echoes, I did write Remembering, which is actually, you can follow it as a story. It's poems, so you can read each one individually, or you can follow the story of a family through their life. And it was remembering my hand in yours, your hand in mine. And then the next one was Awakenings from Then to Now, which takes us through 5 generations of American history in poetic form. But my most recent book right now is The Catnip of Life. And it's about life, not cats. That was the only drawback to the title when I used catnip. However, catnip excites the cat or puts the cat into a state of tranquility. That's exactly what nature does if we take the time to step outside and walk hand in hand with Mother Nature.
Love it. You're absolutely right. When you ever just take that moment to just step away from life, you just go on your little nature walk. It's so tranquil. It's so just relaxing. Like just taking a moment to just look up at the trees or look down at the ground, see all the little creatures on the ground. It is really relaxing just to even like just step out of your day, find that like stream that no one goes to every now and then, just stand there, listen, don't say anything, don't have your mind wandering like what's for dinner tonight, what's going on with this job, what's doing this, what do I do with it? Just silence everything and just look straight on.
People do not understand or really realize the energies that are produced by nature. Those are the energies that our body thrives on. We're connected to nature. Nature breathes. We coexist in breath with nature. So if we would take the time to really focus on how nature nurtures us and nurtures our body, we can actually increase our longevity and our vitality. It's been proven. Science proves it, that is exactly what nature does to the human body.
Love it. Is nature one of your writing inspirations? Is like nature what helps you write and just get ideas onto paper at least?
Yes, most definitely. And the writing that I've done in Catnip, if you think about a novel, when you read a novel and you get to the end of the story, you're at the end of the story. That's it. Unless the author has a sequel, you don't continue on. You may pick the book up later and read it a second time, but very, very rarely. With this, you read a poem, and when you get to the end, the very last verse, it's not the end. It's the beginning, because I write in visionary poetry. So as you read, you create a vision in your mind. And when you finish that reading, it's like, wow, where is that? Now I want to find it. I want to see it. So you actually step outside and begin to not see, you begin to observe. And there's a big difference in seeing something and observing it. And when you truly observe it and listen and commune with the sounds of nature, it makes a huge difference.
Love it. What are some of your other writing inspirations?
Well, nature's my biggie, but I would say probably different places and locations. I love to travel. I love to meet people. So those people, conversations that I might have, with another individual might spark, a thought. And then from that thought, I can go, okay, that might be something nice to write about. I like to present motivation and inspiration to others. So any way that I could enhance a person that might help them with their mindset, where they could be a little bit more positive and eliminate some of the negative vibrations they may have in their life, that would be another avenue for me where I like to write.
Love it. Love it. What helps you if you ever get writer's block? Like if you ever just have a day where nothing's coming onto that paper?
Easy. I shut down the computer and I go outside. I'm serious. If I sit there and I have to work at it, if I'm going, okay, all right, I need, and the words are just not coming, that's telling me it's not the time to write. I'm not in my creative vibration. So I will literally just close up the computer. I may go out for a walk. I may get in my car. I may go for a drive. I may just simply go shopping, anything to just get away, to get my mind away from trying because it did, when you're in a creative mode, you don't try at all. You just sit down and it just comes. But there are times when we just need to stop. And I believe those writer's blocks sometimes occur when our body is telling us, okay, you need a break. And you just simply need a break, because as a writer, and writers will relate to this. You'll have a tendency, you just want to keep going. I want to get to the end. I want to finish this chapter. I want to do this, do that, when it may not be the time to complete it at that moment. You need to take a break. And then when you come back, it's different.
I love it. Love it. I know you go on nature walks a lot. Like, I know you do that. But what about like a bad weather day? What about a day where, hey, probably shouldn't go outside today? Like, what are some places you go for that journey?
That's some of the times I'll go for a drive. Now, I do live in Panama City, Florida. So I'm close to the water. So sometimes I will get in my car and I'll just drive down to the beach. There are places where you can just park, along the highway, and I'll just watch the weather. I watch the clouds, I watch the ocean, watch the waves and the swells, and just sit there and just absorb it. There are times now, if it's not too bad, if it's not too stormy, I will actually take my umbrella and I would just step outside and I will literally just go ahead and go for my walk. But the stormy weather, I'll pretty much either go for the drive or I'll just stay inside, open up my window curtains, and just look outside, because I love the rain. I love to watch the rain. I love to listen to the rain. And where I used to live, I had a porch. So I would step outside and I would just sit on my porch and just listen to the storm, listen to the rain, and just watch the clouds as they move and the lightning and anything, that might be happening. But I love stormy days just as well, because if you think about that stormy day, where's the sun?
Behind the clouds.
It's still there. It's behind those clouds. It's still there. So even on a cloudy day, it's a sunny day. You just have to have it in your heart.
That's a good metaphor. Even on a cloudy day, it's still sun. There's still sunshine.
Yeah, every day, every time.
I love it. So what poem do you think brings you the most joy that you've written so far? The one like you take the most pride in, the one that like you're most proud of? I know that's like asking who's your favorite child, but still.
There are actually two. Now, there really is. And one of them, it'd be too long to share on the air, but it's about the rain. And because of my love for the rain, the refreshing and the cleansing feeling, of the rain, I go through different aspects of the smell of rain, from being on a dusty road to being in a field to being on a highway. It's different. That's one of my favorites. Another one of my favorite, because I love our country. I absolutely love America, and we have such a beautiful, beautiful country. And I wrote one called Somewhere Along the Highway. And Somewhere Along the Highway has always been one of my favorites. But do I have time? I'll share part of it.
Yeah.
I won't read the whole thing because it's a little bit, it is a little bit long, but there are a few verses in here that I think would really help anyone. Yeah, just kind of stop it. I want you to envision it and really begin to see it. Now, at the beginning of each of my writings, I call it a little blurb that starts it out. And America the Beautiful is depicted in general conversations, poetic verse, essays, magazines, books, films, and song. One of America's icons is amber waves of grain. The vastness of field after field of amber-colored wheat located across America's Great Plains. So this is about the amber waves of grain. Somewhere along the highway lay fields of amber durum wheat, where ghostly footsteps, long past, tread lightly among slender stalks. Brisk winds brush the slender spikes, rippling the grains like disturbed water, as golden wheat's autumn setting reflects blushing September. A sight to behold, glory in your midst, dancing within the breeze, delicately sun-kissed. Somewhere along the highway, picturesque scenes appear, field after field sparkle, being touched by misty rain. The tall, slender stalks sway within the mist, cueing the icon, amber waves of grain. That's one of my favorites. Could you see it? Could you see that picture?
I absolutely could, like, just
Yeah.
driving along like a cornfield, just driving along like the, the farms and everything like that, in like the Midwest, and just driving
Perfect.
down the road and seeing seeing the wheat fields, just seeing the side, like just seeing all that wheat, there.
Mhm.
So that was wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. But that's how I write. And that's what I want my readers to be able to do, is to read and be
Vision
there,
it. Yeah.
be in the field, and just actually feel it.
And those to me are some of the best books, when you can get truly, like, how when they say like you get lost in a book, but when you can truly get
Mhm.
lost in it, like you feel like what you're reading is what you're seeing. Like you don't just read word for word, you actually picture yourself like as the character
Mhm.
doing what they're doing. Like whether it's a fictional book, like you picture yourself as that wizard going down the going
That's right.
down the stairs or something like that. Or
Mhm.
you picture yourself like as this main character driving along the highway, like you said.
Yeah. Anytime you can get that picture, I think, and you can visualize it in your mind, it's like the scrapbook. You have a scrapbook of your mind. So
Mhm.
you take the visions and you put them back in your scrapbook so you can bring them forward at any point in time. And that can actually enhance a day that you might feel like is not going as well as you want it to. You call it a gray day. You can actually bring sunshine from behind those clouds into that day, because you have those visions you pull forth in your mind that bring forth the smiles and the joy and the happiness.
Love it. Love it. Now, where can our buddies find your book? Where can we
Okay. All right, all you buddies out there. I really would enjoy you visiting my website, and it is catnipoflife.info. And on that site, you will be able to read what my writing is all about. And then you will have links to the actual books, which are on Amazon. So in that one place, you have access to everything.
Love it. On top of being an author too, you also are you getting ready to do TED Talks, or have you done TED Talks before?
Oh, I am in training. Yes, I'm in the preparation. In fact, my talk is pretty much completed, and I'm putting out applications now, going out all across the country, to pick up, one of the TED platforms in 2024. I'm very, very excited. And in my TED Talk, what I am pretty much focusing upon is, and you may not have ever even heard of this, and I want all my listeners to put this in their memory bank: nature deficit disorder. And it does exist. And there are statistics of what is happening because we are becoming numb to nature, and we are putting too much focus into the digital world, because that's just the way the world is right now. But we're becoming so focused and glued to this screen, we do not realize what's happening to our body. And there's nothing any more important in life than your body. So you have to keep it healthy. But that's what my talk's about.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And you're right. We're so connected to a digital age nowadays. You walk into a restaurant, and how many people do you see doing this all day?
Mm-hmm.
And they're sitting right across from each other.
Mm-hmm. My biggest concern are our youth. And our youth are like this, actually glued to that screen. The statistics say they spend 5 to 7 hours in front of a screen and 4 to 7 minutes in a structured outdoor environment. That's not enough.
You tell them to go outside and play, and they'll be like, okay. They'll take their handheld video game and walk
Take
right
their
out there.
phone. Exactly. Yeah.
So, well, buddy, thank you for being on Buddycast. I have 2 more questions to ask you before
Sure.
this is how I put my stamp on my episodes. Number 1, please know you're not a guest on the show. You're an official buddy.
I
So,
love it. I love the term buddy. I
mhm,
think I loved it when you told me that you were buddy cast. And
mhm,
yeah, because if you think about it out here in the world, we really need to treat each other as buddies because
exactly,
that's how we help people. The way we reach out and help others is through a buddy system. I think it's wonderful.
exactly. And that's my next question to you. Brought to us
Okay.
by my buddy Jonas Kane at #positivity. He wants to know, in your own words, what does it mean to be someone's buddy?
Oh, to be someone's buddy, that is to be a friend, a comrade, a person that you can trust, a person that you can believe in, that you can help, and at the same time that can help you. But you call upon each other whenever there's a time. It may be a time of need, or it may just simply be a time, hey, buddy, we just need to go and do something, or we need to have a conversation. It's that closeness, that camaraderie that really, I think, enhances the whole human being and keeps us positive because we bring each other up every day.
Love that answer. Absolutely love that answer. The final question I have for you today is what we call the ultimate buddycast buddy question. You ready for this one?
I'm ready. Yes.
For anyone out there who wants to be an author, who wants to write, who wants to have a book out there of their own, what is your advice to them?
Oh my gracious, do it. And I would say journal. Okay, if you haven't started journaling, I didn't start this till later in life, and I wish I had started it earlier. If you have an idea, or if something just really grabs you, or maybe a thought you just want to get out of your mind, sometimes it could be negative, sometimes it could be positive. Write. Just write. Take that journal and just write, or start a blog. A lot of my writing came from my blog, which I started back in 20, I think I started it in 2024, 25, somewhere in there. And now when I went into catnip, I went back to my blog and I had all of this writing that I had posted that I had forgotten about. So throughout the years, the more you write, the more you get those thoughts out of your mind because they're fleeting. They're here today and they're gone tomorrow. I've noticed as a writer, I can be on a walk, something could come to me, and by the time I get back home, I can't remember it. So either take a tape recorder, keep a little pad, and just simply write. And one of my goals is to have a writer's cabin. So be on the lookout for Catnip Cabin, maybe in 2024, because I want a place
Ooh,
where writers can go, stay in nature, and just simply be away from all the busyness and business of everyday life and let their creative juices flow.
I like that idea. I like that idea. Just a place to be in nature, to let it all out. Just don't worry
Yeah,
about the outside world. Make sure it
yeah.
doesn't have Wi. Make sure they don't have Wi-Fi. That's the key.
That's the key. I don't know if we could do without it,
Yeah,
that's debatable, but I think being a serious writer, they would understand, well, that's why they're there because they can
exactly.
do their electronics at home. It would just be a way to communicate, but they would really, and they'd need their computer probably to do their writing also.
Probably, but
Yeah, but
in a way,
definitely.
or maybe okay. So how about limited Wi-Fi? How about that? Limit the
Yeah, just
Wi-Fi.
limited. We'll limit
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well,
Wonderful.
buddy, thank you for being a buddy on Buddycast. It was a true pleasure to meet you. Thank you for sharing your words of wisdom. Thank you for sharing about your book. Thank you for sharing your poem with us. That was truly beautiful.
Oh, I thank you, Nick. This is wonderful. I love my opportunities where I can be out and I can talk with people and just let them know what it's all about. And
Mm.
just there's the book.
Ooh, I
Be
love the
on the-
cover.
Yeah, be on the lookout. Yeah.
Will
They're
do.
that's all the thoughts and the visions, see, are right there. That's where they are. They're in the mind.
I like it. I like it. Please, buddies, if you are able to, please check out the Catnip of Life. Check out the book. Please support my buddy. Give her a follow. Take a look at her book. You won't regret it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sharla, for being a buddy on Buddycast. I have one favor to ask you before we close
Yes.
out this episode.
Yes.
Whatever you're going to do today, tomorrow, next week, next month, even next year, promise me you're going to go out and you're going to go be someone's buddy.
Oh, I will do that. In fact, I am one of these persons. I don't know if I have time, but I was brought up in an era where you never talk to strangers, because that was as a child. You know, you just didn't walk up to a stranger. Now, my grandkids get really tickled at me because I will be out shopping somewhere, and the other day, one of them tugged me by the arm and said, "Grammy, is there anybody you won't talk to?"
Just the other day.
You just have to smile and break the ice, because people love it when you approach them and approach them with a positive attitude. It's
Just the other day, I was outside. I was out at a grocery store, and there was a family of 3 behind me in the checkout lane, and the little boy was like, "We should get this. We should get that. We should do this. We should do that. We should do that." He was just going on and on. I turned around to the family, and I'm like, "Boy, you have one wild imagination there." And the family just laughed. And they're like, "Oh, he does."
Yes, it's beautiful. It's we live in a beautiful world. We just need to take advantage of it and quit taking it for granted.
Exactly. Again, Charlotte, thank you for being a buddy on Buddycast. For all my buddies out there, this is my buddy, Sharla Shults. Please check out her works. I'm your host, Nick Sorensen. Thank you for joining us again
Thank
on
you.
everybody's favorite show.
Well, the days are going fast, buddy, we've got to make them last, buddy, before they've all gone past, buddy,